Another week, boys, and another TWAB. This week at Bungie, we dove deep into the feedback about all the exciting things that have been happening in the game. And as we continue to conquer the nightmares that Callus and his army have to throw at us, we've got some next steps to share about Solar 3.0, an updated known issue list for players to track with so many things being introduced, and a special tribute to our community that we think you'll find welcome. The last week has been filled with dangers lurking at every corner, whether it's confronting our fears in the newest duality dungeon or getting a little spicy with the recent 3.0 update. There's a healthy dose of newness for Guardians to take on. But before we dive into what's next for Solar, let's talk about Iron Banner and Rift's launch. So first up, Iron Banner Rift is making waves. Boy, that's an understatement. Rift is back, but it's not the same Rift that Destiny 1 players will remember. With the launch of the new map, the returning yet revamped Rift mode for Iron Banner, and some known issues that we have been investigating, we wanted to take a moment to provide some clarity on what Rift is, while also providing an update on where the team is at in terms of bugs. So first, what is the objective? A few TWABs ago, which, can we just talk about how fast time is going? Is that normal? Is it just me? What is happening? Bungie's own principal designer, Alan Blaine, sat down to talk about the changes you've now had a chance to see in Iron Banner. He also spoke about different visions for PvP going forward, and where the new map fits into the bigger picture. Much of the changes centered around a common feedback item we get in the PvP community, especially with modes like Control. Where's the teamwork? Season 17's launch of Rift bears that question at its core. So the dev team made a few alterations to make it a more objective-friendly experience that aims to feel rewarding and fresh. With that in mind, what is Rift? Rift is an objective-based crucible mode with a huge focus on objective. Teams will have a goal. Take the spark from the middle of the map into the base of the enemy team and dunk it into the enemy rift. One dunk equals 1 point. The first to make it to 5 points or to have the upper hand by the 10-minute mark wins. Now here's a full breakdown that we previously shared. I am not about to go through all of this because we've literally talked about Rift in 2 separate videos. Fellas, it's a spark in the middle. You got to slam it in the enemy team's rift and it's a GG. Matter of fact, we actually put out an entire review on Rift and my complete thoughts on it. And let me be honest with you guys. I really don't have any problem with Rift. It's a new game mode, and inside of PvP, we don't ever hear the word new very often. Put new in quotations because Rift is not exactly new. But this is about the best we can get. This is what $3.6 billion gets you, fellas. What I am not happy about is how Sandbox is feeling. Most notably in-air accuracy. And before someone jumps up and says, Cross, you gotta build into it. No, it sucks ass. But the only people that are liking the in-air accuracy changes are people that play like bots who never jump. So like I said in my review, don't associate where the Sandbox is currently with Rift. Rift in itself is actually a very fun game mode. Now regarding reputation changes, play matches with each match earning more towards Iron Banner reputation. Win matches to earn a small bonus based on your current Iron Banner rank. You can of course wear Iron Banner armor, 5 total pieces, complete Iron Banner challenges, as well as wearing an Iron Banner emblem. Let me mention here, there is currently a bug going on that if you go over 4 challenges completed, it will actually bug out the bonus reputation gains. There's really no way to avoid this. It's just one of the many bugs plaguing Rift. Now daily challenges. We've seen some confusion over the daily challenges that can be found when hovering over the Iron Banner node. So we wanted to resurface what was previously shared about this mechanic for anyone that may have missed it. As noted in the previous TWAB, for the first 4 days of each Iron Banner week, Guardians will unlock a new daily challenge, one for each day. These challenges unlock each day, whether you complete them or not. So if you log in on Friday, you can do them all in succession if you want. Rewards will also stack reputation bonuses for the remainder of the week alongside a Pinnacle Iron Ingram. The weekly bounties that typically award Pinnacles have been deprecated appropriately to balance out this change to Iron Banner. Now these work similarly to weekly challenges and can be found in the node for Iron Banner Rift. Now at the end of the day, we're going to be keeping an eye on feedback. It's an odd spot to be in where you can see the community in its polarity in its entirety. There's so many opposing viewpoints, and sometimes those can contradict each other in a way that can be a confounding puzzle. A fun puzzle, absolutely, but tricky. One small move can make or break an experience, but we will never stop listening and expanding the Destiny 2 experience. Now before diving into what's next for Solar, we just want to say thank you to everyone that shared their feedback, their joy, and their desires with us as we constantly evolve this spacefaring experience. Right now, the team is hard at work on investigating known issues such as the spark sometimes disappearing, progress trackers for the new title, and that pesky loop trap that some are encountering when taking on an enemy team. While we continue digging into every facet of these reported instances, we wanted to give a heads up on what's happening behind the scenes and drop the Bungie help resource for those looking for updates going forward. Stay tuned. Honestly, address the bugs. Rift is all right. Fellas, you only got to play it twice a season. And I don't know about you, I never was that crazy about Iron Banner Control. I wasn't that crazy about Iron Banner. Matter of fact, this is the most I've ever played of Iron Banner. But back to my original point. I am more annoyed with the Sandbox than I am any game mode. Believe me, a video is coming and I'm about to let let all my frustration out. Every bit of it. I'm gonna blow my load of frustration for about 17 and a half minutes at some point this weekend. So stay tuned. Operation Muy Caliente. The Sandbox team has been monitoring feedback since the launch of Solar 3.0 closely, and with that feedback comes a few new updates to share with y'all. To help Solar 3.0 live its best life, here's some of the tweaks we have on the horizon from Sandbox Discipline lead Kevin Yanis. So from Kevin here, hi folks. As you're all aware, we recently launched Solar 3.0 and the latest of our Subclass 3.0 updates. As with any launch, we've been watching and reading reactions to the feature, and it's become clear that we needed to circle around the campfire to share a bit about our plans. So I'd like to get together and talk about our intentions, our next steps, and some expectation setting for the rest of the season this year. First, I want to reiterate some of the goals we laid out for the 3.0s, starting with Void 3.0 update that went live when we announced the Witch Queen. We are taking the subclass you know and love and remixing them. That means adding new abilities and mechanics, ditching some old ones where it makes sense to do so, and spreading out existing ones to create an enticing new combinations. Now, a common feedback thread is some frustrations around losing elements, like Heart of the Pack, or nerfs to things like Sunspots or Benevolent Dawn. We know that losing things can feel unsatisfying or painful at first, but part of our 3.0ification of these classes is also rebalancing of some of these items. Those passive or self-looping ability regen benefits silently power crept over the years to levels that made them too dominant in many activities. With our focus on build crafting, we don't want to have one singular perk complete large parts of your kit by itself. As we continue the process of moving the light subclasses into the 3.0 system, you'll see us continue to rebalance gameplay items in this manner, with the goal that the new combinations and possibility space they open up will offset the loss of any one perk. Now, initial reactions to Solar have not met our new thing that melts your face off bar, and we believe that's due in part to a few things. Ember of Benevolence shipped in an inconsistent state that left healers feeling underwhelmed with their kit when it didn't behave as expected. Warlocks who wanted to specialize in healing had limited ways to interface with that fantasy, with two of their three aspects focus on area mobility or scorching, and losing the flexibility of choosing to use their grenade to heal allies or damage enemies on the fly. Titans, while bombastic and potent, lacked ways to keep their engine running without needing to run throwing hammer or burning multiple cooldowns. Now, as we said in the past through TWABs, socials, and other dev updates, we'd much rather ship something a little too spicy than something bland that makes a bad first impression. I think with Solar 3.0, we landed somewhere in the middle, and the team feels very passionately that this is the wrong place to be. To that end, the team has pulled some heroics and shifted resources to make some buffs to Heat Rises, Icarus Dash, Celestial Fire, Burning Maul, Roaring Flames, and Consecration, as well as bug fixes for Ember of Benevolence and a few of our damage over time linger grenades. These changes will go live next week with hotfix 4.1.0.2. Jesus, that is a fast turnaround. Well, alrighty then. Starting with Solar Warlock, Heat Rises. Added behavior. Consuming your grenade now also releases a burst of Cure 2 around you, healing you and your nearby allies. Consuming a healing grenade increases the strength of the burst to Cure times 3, and consuming Touch of Flame healing grenade provides restoration as an additional benefit. Hot damn. Now everybody's gonna be a Warlock main. Icarus Dash, added behavior. While airborne, rapidly defeating targets with your super or any weapon cures you. Celestial Fire. Each Celestial Fire projectile now applies 10 Scorch stacks. This is increased to 15 stacks with Ember of Ashes equipped. This is fantastic. Celestial Fire actually didn't apply any Scorch stacks. And by the way, we did a complete breakdown on Solar 3.0. Hardly anyone watched it, but if you're interested in knowing how many stacks of Scorch is being caused with certain abilities, feel free to check that one out. Now moving on to Solar Titan. Burning Maul. Buff damage in PvE by 25%. Oh, all right, boys, get ready. Next week, we're going to be doing some damage testing. Roaring Flames. Added behavior. While Roaring Flames is active, your uncharged melee attack now deals solar damage and applies 30 Scorch stacks to the target per hit. This is increased to 40 stacks with Ember of Ashes equipped. So the uncharge. Interesting. By the way, if you haven't checked out our bonk build for Titan, please do. We were literally running Master Nightfalls this past week and easily one banging champions. Granted, you got to do it fast or they're going to stomp you back, but still. Consecration. Fragment slot increase from 1 to 2. Also raise the height of the secondary's attack ground wave by 25% to more easily catch players who jump too late. Ah, okay. Honestly, that's good. I actually just wish the animation was faster, right? No lie though, it's a really good melee. If you can get the timing down, I love it in Rift. Can clear out an entire team. Now that's no small list of changes. The team takes feedback seriously. We're players ourselves. So when things don't land, we also feel that internally. To say it out loud, a hot fix of this magnitude comes at the cost of other changes. So to set expectations here, the team is unlikely to take another balance pass until much later this season. It's important to our team that on top of doing amazing new things, we maintain a healthy work-life balance, and this patch necessitates some breathing room. On that note, what's next for abilities? Well, Arc 3.0 is still cooking up nicely, and we'll have more to talk about there in a future update. But just to reiterate points the team has made in the past about the next subclass update, after Arc 3.0, you should expect the abilities team to go dark for a while. Since shipping Stasis with Beyond Light, the team has made huge ability changes season over season. Over the last year, we've been back-to-back shipping new aspects for Stasis, adding the variable ability cooldown system, and creating 3 subclass 3.0 experiences. It's been very busy. We hope the changes you've read today reinforce our commitment to being responsive to feedback and candid in our communication. We'll be right there alongside you on the derelict Leviathan, snapping, slamming, and flipping our way to victory. Now, I know there was a lot of people upset with Solo 3.0. Honestly though, I am having the time of my life with these builds. A lot of it has to do with the synergy there with artifact mods, but it is so much fun. I mean, hell fellas, Blade Barrage is literally the best damage super in the game. Who saw that coming? I am by no means upset with anything 3.0 related with our subclasses. What this outlines to me when he states that they're going to be going dark after Arc 3.0 is not to be expecting much in that final season in regards to aspects and fragments. I think we're going to get maybe one at most, maybe none. The other thing this tells me too is that the airborne changes that we've recently seen is going to stay in place, at least for the duration of this season, which is a big yikes. But that's all right. That's why we play PvE as well. This channel will turn into a PvE lore channel overnight. I don't even know what PvP means. Now moving on, Prime Gaming is back. Oh, Polaris Lance, which by the way, does not synergize with 3.0. Missed opportunity, Bungie. As well as an ornament, an exotic sparrow, and a projection. Now, heroes welcome always. Fellas, you gotta check out this video. We're actually gonna link it down below. Maze had a hell of a song that he threw together for Destiny 2. Very high production. Yo, we need to get a feature, right? I can't rap, but I can come in with the banjo. But check him out, fellas. A very unique streamer who has successfully merged both gaming and music. Now, outside of that, Iron Banner challenges. We've had some confusion surrounding Iron Banner daily challenges, which work similar to weekly challenges. When hovering over the Iron Banner node in the director, players can see the weekly challenge 1 of 4. One weekly challenge is unlocked daily from Tuesday to Friday. The challenges will stack, so players can complete one a day, or all 4 when Friday comes around. Each challenge will grant players pinnacle gear. I just want to mention that when you say daily challenges, but then when we look on the Iron Banner node and it says weekly challenge, that of course is going to cause confusion. Outside of that, we have a number of known issues. Yeah, feel free to check that one out. A lot of them are tied to Rift and Iron Banner. As a final note here from Bungie, before we release you all back into the wild to slay those weekly challenges and take on what's left of this week's story mission, we wanted to offer just one more reminder about the upcoming GCX marathon. As mentioned in the last week's TWAB, GCX is coming in hot this year with yet another way for the community to congregate, relax, and enjoy some good game time while also putting a little more good back out into the world through charity. For those that may have missed the initial announcement, the streaming marathon kicks off at 9 a.m. Pacific on June the 3rd and will conclude on June the 10th at the same time. The goal? Raising money for St. Jude's Hospital. We are doing it for the children. There are some sweet prizes on the horizon for this streaming event, including new emblems to show off to the world. It's all going down here soon. Make sure to tune in to the official GCX stream right here. You can also check out more info on the event here from the previous announcement. As we head into the weekend and more of you dive into Iron Banner Rift, wrap up any weekly seasonal challenges, and dominate in search of pinnacles, we just want to say thank you again for being part of the community that has grown so much through the years. That growth and its ongoing evolution hasn't always been easy, and certainly not without its missteps. But the teams here are so passionate about what they do, and your love and support of this evolving tale means everything. We have more on the way as Season the Haunting continues to trek into the depths of the human psyche, and we hope you enjoyed the rest of the ride because, well, it's definitely a ride. There's more to come. In the meantime, this is your usual hippie reminder to drink your water, take your vitamins, and be kind to yourself and those around you. That's what Guardians do. I should go hippie. All right, guys, that's your TWAB. Again, we're going to talk sandbox stuff here pretty soon. By the way, these seasons are really important to me, especially the seasons surrounding GCX. When it's a poppin' season, that fuels GCX. I feel like this season definitely has some legs under it, but we do need to air out some things that are lacking. I will say personally, one of my favorite GCX conferences was Season of Opulence. Oh, you want to talk about a hype GCX event? Dude, everybody was so pumped. I will also be at GCX next week. I'll probably be getting there late, like Friday or maybe first thing early Saturday morning. I do want to cover the new trial weapons that are dropping next week, so we'll probably like hang back, take care of that, and then I'll turn around and be there first thing. But be looking out for us, guys. It'll be a great time, and I can't wait to meet all of you. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.